I came across this photograph in the collection of the Australian War Memorial Archive, which I find really interesting. This is a British female Mark IV tank, and the description along the top right hand corner reads Strassenkampfe in Berlin während des Generalstreikes, street fighting in Berlin during the general strike. Assuming the title is correct, and there's no reason to assume that it isn't, this places the date of the photograph to between the 5th and 15th of January 1919, and judging by the behaviour of the people in the photograph, I assume it is towards the end of this 11-day period. We can see the tank has German military identification marks indicating that it was captured. There is also another interesting linguistic note. It's called a Tankwagen and not a panzer. The general strike referred to was the Spartacist uprising of largely communists against the newly formed social democratic government, although the general strike as such was probably more to stop a counter-revolution. If so, it failed, as the government was able to call on the Freikorps units made up of former soldiers, often from the nationalist right, and they put down the rebels. A search of the files of the German Federal Archives led to this photograph being found, a photograph possibly taken on the very same day as the first. A total of 1,220 Mark IVs were built, 420 males, 595 females, and 205 tank tenders, which were unarmed vehicles used to carry supplies. This was the most numerous British tank of the war. The Mark IV was first used in mid-1917 at the Battle of Messina Ridge and at the Battle of Cambrai later that year. The first mass use of tanks, which could have led to a major victory and which has become the blueprint for the use of tanks in battle for attacks ever since. The tank had a crew of 8 and weighed fully loaded 28 tons for the male tank, whilst the female tank was 1 ton lighter. There were male and female tanks not because they were used for breeding, which might have been a good idea if they had actually bred, but because the words male and female, like the word tank, were code words designed to confuse anyone not in the know. The male tank had 3 machine guns and 2 6-pounder cannon with a capacity for 180 high explosive rounds, while the female tank had 5.303 Lewis light machine guns. The idea of the male and female tanks was to mix them up in order to attack more successfully. Further searches in the German Federal Archives show a number of photographs of captured British tanks of various types. Most of these appear to be as a result of the Battle of Cambrai in 1917. The German army was able to arrange a quick counterattack which resulted in the recapture of a lot of territory and presumably the slow-moving tanks that had got stuck there and were unable to withdraw. The British army had not yet learned how to fight using combined arms tactics, as this was then new technology. Obviously, the German soldiers were very interested to see the British tanks, some of which were turned around against their former owners. In this photograph, entitled A Demonstration of British Tanks, we can see none other than the Kaiser himself come to have a look. Furthermore, demonstrations were given for the German public, such as this one in Wittenbergplatz in Berlin, which took place in the winter of 1917 to 1918. I hope you found this interesting. I originally meant to do this as a short video of under 3 minutes in length, but then as I sat down and wrote, more and more information became available, so I was able to do a longer video. I don't usually talk about technology and weapons, but more about people, places, and incidents. If people, places, and incidents is the sort of thing that interests you, then you might want to subscribe. I upload every day at 2000 hours my time, Central European time. I'm based in Poland and Germany, and so I'm able to make videos from this area, and at the same time you can see what the places I'm talking about look like today. There's also a premium option on this channel membership, and this now gives access to over 800 other videos that I've prepared. For the moment, thanks for watching. Bye for now.